Are you ready? Yes. Are you ready? Yes. Yes. Great. Applause. Fantastic. This is the right spirit, and this is the time to be ready, because now, officially, in this very moment, your time at Frankfurt School starts. Welcome to Frankfurt School of Finance and Management. Welcome to the Bachelor of Science. It's great to have you all here. It's great to have you all here. And if you look around, for many of you, this room should look familiar. Because many of you, most of you, have been sitting in this room at least once before. Do you remember? Yes. It was a different time, and it was a different setting, and you were probably also feeling a bit differently. It was when you came here to Frankfurt School to sit the assessment center, the dreaded, feared assessment center test. And you were probably a bit nervous, I suppose, a bit anxious. You were not quite sure, what are these guys expecting from me? Will I make it? Is this the right place? Maybe you were also not quite sure. You were considering other options as well. Is Frankfurt School the place to be? But then several things happened. First of all, we told you, yes, we would like to have you here at Frankfurt School as our students. And then you thought about it probably a little bit, and you came to the conclusion, yes, that's right, I want to be here. And I can say one thing for sure, you all took the right decision. Congratulations. Today begins a journey that will take you through many steps and adventures, 3.5 years, here at Frankfurt School, abroad in a different country, doing internships, etc. It will be a long journey, an interesting and insightful journey that will lead you one day, in about 3.5, 4 years, to St. Paul's Church, famous Paulskirche, a few kilometers away, where you will receive your degree as Bachelor of Science in Business Administration from Frankfurt School. I suppose you're excited. That's at least what I hope. We are, my team and I, staying here around in this room. We've been working over many months to prepare everything for you, for your arrival here. And we are, I guess, as excited as you are to have this day finally come, to see you all in person, to start working with you. We have a cool week for introduction that we have prepared for you. Weather looks quite promising. So I'm sure that this will be a great start, and the official motto of the week is get ready for Frankfurt School, get ready for the Frankfurt School experience, and this is exactly what it is supposed to be. This is the largest intake that we've had ever for the Bachelor of Science in Frankfurt School. That's why you see we're at capacity almost, so we were not quite sure whether we would have enough seats actually for all of you here in this room. You know that we're building a new campus that will be inaugurated next year, and one of the reasons is that we're getting a bit to the limits of capacity here. Fortunately, you can all sit, but this is the largest intake that we've ever had. And it's not only that, it's also by far the most international intake, with the most number of people with different nationalities coming from abroad here to Frankfurt School. And the fact that this is such a large intake is also a vote of confidence, of course. We all know that you have other options. There are other universities, other business schools that you could have gone to, but you chose Frankfurt School. And I said, I am convinced that you took the right decision. And the fact that we have such a large and diverse cohort here is one thing that is very important that I want to tell you at your first day here at school. You will learn a lot from our professors, from the classes, but you will equally learn a lot from yourselves, from the group. So take that opportunity to see your peers, not just as the person sitting next to you in class or the person that you go and have a drink with or become friends with, but see them also as a learning opportunity. And likewise, you will present a learning opportunity for your peers, because you're all different. You all have different backgrounds, you come from different places, you went to different schools, you have different interests, different perspectives on your life and on your career. Frankfurt School will help you, provide you with all the tools that you need to have a successful and fulfilling career. Successful in the sense of economics, to be able to get you a decent salary to provide for yourselves and for your family, but also successful in the sense that you can do something that is right, that you are interested in, that is an interesting career perspective. And that's what we'll try to do here, is opening up these paths. And I hope that you're all looking positively in the future, and I think you can. As future graduates of Frankfurt School, you'll have plenty of opportunities. In fact, not just for our graduates, but for all young people who enter university today, the future is looking very, very bright. You will have probably unprecedented opportunities to go abroad, to have an international career, to work in different places, much more than probably my generation, definitely more than the generation of your parents. So you will have all the opportunity and all the reason to be positive about the decades of work and study that lie ahead of you. And you will, one day, become part of the elite of your societies. And in many respects, you already are. You are privileged. All of us in this room, we are privileged. Privileged compared to the German society, of course, but also to a much larger extent, privileged when it comes to the rest of the world's population. So you are all part of this elite. And before you now feel great about it and say, wow, that's nice. Let me tell you one thing. The elites are not what they used to be anymore. In fact, in large parts of the world, elites are completely discredited. And large parts of the population make them responsible for all the perceived or real shortcomings of their societies. Think about what's happening in the US, where a candidate who thrives on an anti-establishment populist discourse could become the presidential candidate of one of the two major parties. Think about what happened in the UK, where the population voted in favor of leaving the European Union, despite the fact that the elites, no matter whether they came from private sector, from government, from academia, almost unanimously recommended not to do so. You will not find or hardly find any serious expert who recommended to the British electorate that they should vote to leave the European Union. Nevertheless, when there were democratic elections, there was a referendum, a majority voted in favor. Think about what's happening in Austria, where there is a right-wing populist candidate who is at the brink of becoming president of that country. Or think about Germany, where we have seen rising electoral results for a right-wing populist party called AfD that were, up until a few years ago, unthinkable. So the elites are discredited. The elites are being blamed for a lot of things, and they have lost credibility. So if you want to become part of this group and you want to take responsibility, then this is something that should bother you. I told you that you're all privileged. We're all privileged. And this is great, and you all deserve it. So there's no doubt about that. And there's also no need to feel sorry about this or be ashamed about it. But with privilege, with opportunity, comes responsibility. Responsibility for those that are less fortunate than you. So what I would like to urge you on this very first day is that you take this responsibility seriously. That you take it into consideration and that you think about what you could do to make the situation better. You all have an international outlook. Many of you came from abroad here to Frankfurt to study. Many of you will study in a language that is not your native tongue. And all of you will eventually go abroad for at least one semester to another country to study there, to do an internship. And I suppose that all of you, or almost all of you, are really looking forward to that period already. So you all have an international outlook. You're curious about new things, new people, exchange with new ideas. But in many other people in the world, they think differently. We're in an age where the trend towards more and more internationalization has been stopped. Globalization is not en vogue. Many people are instead talking about raising borders again, building walls, building fences, where we thought that after the end of the Cold War, we were on a different path. We were on a path where borders would be removed, where we would travel more freely, where the world would become more international, we would have more trade globally. And now we're at a phase or at a point where this process has stalled, or it may even go in reverse. And this happens in many places. It happens in Europe with the refugee crisis. It happens in the US with the discussion about immigration from Latin America. And it also happens in places like Asia, where you have a country like China who is increasingly pushing a nationalist agenda. So this is not, with all the differences, this is not a problem that just resides in parts of the world. This is a universal problem. Now, why am I telling you all this on your first day at university? Am I trying to depress you? Do I try to pull you down? You know? Do I want to spoil the party mood that you're all in? No. I want to give you 2 points today on your way into this new phase of life. And the first one is, as I have said, opportunity and privilege comes with responsibility. So please take that responsibility seriously. And the second thing is, I'm not telling this to depress you or so that you feel overwhelmed. I'm telling you because I want to tell you, you all, each and every one of you individually and you as a group, you have what it takes to make a difference in life. You have what it takes to make a difference in the world around you. One day, you're a CEO or a senior manager, but even today, so you don't have to wait until one distant point in the future where you say, now I'm a serious person, I'm a person of responsibility, you know, I have a big office and I have a secretary and a car or whatever. You can start right now. And this leaves me to move on to the next point that I want to make. Frankfurt School and university in general is a point of learning and is a point of exchange. We have a fantastic faculty, they're all experts in different fields, and they will teach you many, many things. But ultimately, the success of your time here at Frankfurt School will depend on you yourselves. Learning is an active process, and learning is something that you take into your own hands, and it is something about the experiences and the exposures that you seek. So start now, from your first semester, to think, what can I do to make Frankfurt School a better place, to make my immediate surroundings a better place, to make the world a better place. It can be something big, it can be something small. The important thing is that you start taking responsibility now. You can do so by joining one of the many, many initiatives that we have, student-run initiatives. They range from debating society to charity events to a very large and active group that does FS Model United Nations, simulation of United Nations procedures. There are many, many opportunities that you can join. If there's something missing, you can always start your own initiative. Just talk to a few people here, left and right, say, this is my idea. Shall we do this? And then you start it. This is how many of the initiatives here started. We have people who do entrepreneurship, we have a consulting group, and so on and so forth. So start getting your hands dirty, get involved in these initiatives. That is important. And then you start this process of becoming a responsible citizen, this process of giving back to society. You can start it right now. And you will benefit as well, because your learning will be greatly enhanced. And we have confidence that you will be able to achieve these things. Remember, this is why we all brought you here before into this room, and we tested you thoroughly. We interviewed you, we made you sweat. The reason was that we said we want to have a group of people here that can achieve truly outstanding things. And that's what you are. Now, you will all need a little bit of polishing. You're still young. Still, a lot of that you have to learn. But the abilities, we are convinced, the abilities to make a difference in life, to make a difference in this world, you possess them all. So, think about these things. Think about what they mean for you personally. Take Frankfurt School and the studies here seriously. The level of education is quite high. We like our students to stretch themselves, so we will always raise the bar a little bit more. Yeah? Not so much that you cannot jump over it, don't worry, we have a lot of experience, but the idea is we don't want to make it too easy for you here. And therefore, you should also not take it too easy, at least at the beginning. Go all in, start learning from the very beginning, at least until you get a feeling for what is expected of you, how the level is, so that you don't risk falling apart. And then think a little bit what you can do outside of class for extracurricular activities, so that you not just become a passive student, but you become somebody who is an active part of the Frankfurt School family, who is a creator, not a consumer. That is very important. That's the difference between being passive, you lean back, you expect the stuff to come your way, and you just open the mouth and see what sticks. That's a passive consumer. You don't want to be that. You want to be an active creator. So from tomorrow onwards, when we start with the workshops of the introduction week, don't just sit there. Go all in, ask questions, participate, make suggestions. Yeah? Make life difficult for us as well. When you have new ideas, come see us and say, look, I want to do this, or this should be done in a different way. These are the kinds of students that excel here at Frankfurt School, and these are ultimately also the kind of people who go on and make a really successful impact in life. The week ahead of us is a mix of useful things in the workshops that you can put into practice immediately, hopefully, for the phase in life that is starting right now. It is also supposed to be a lot of fun, so that you can get to know each other better, so that you can get to know us and the institution. I think we've put together a great program that you will enjoy, and then next week, a bit more serious stuff starts when we get into the real modules, the real classes that begin on Monday next week. Once again, we are so happy and so excited to see you all here, finally in this room. Welcome 2016 cohort of the Bachelor of Science. Great to have you here.